Everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot and Astrology. I'm Denise. So anyway, this is our weekly dive into whatever's going on with Mr. Flump. I'm going to be covering the week right before Christmas, and Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. It'll be Merry Christmas Eve by the end of this week. So with that said, this will go from the 18th to the 24th. But let me swap out cameras here and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm starting off with the Visions of Life Tarot by Taroko Studio again. Man, I was just looking at last week's reading and pretty much it was all right there with the whole, you know, what a education I've gotten in the last 12 hours maybe? Yeah. On NFTs. I was so ignorant at what is a non-fungible token. Anyway. Yeah. So, and I've posted tons, rather than spending a lot of time talking about it here in the video, just go to the community section, you know, on my YouTube page. And I posted link after link after link this morning to answer most of your questions, or maybe all of them. So anyway, so okay, so let's look at Mr. Trump. And I had this weird dream last night with him and Ivanka, where he was feeling very ashamed and humiliated and kind of beat up, and she was trying to say, well, it's okay, Dad, I love you anyway. It was actually really, it was kind of, well, anyway, what came through in the dream for me, it just felt like I think he's meeting a level of humiliation that I've always thought that his soul needed to experience in order to heal. Okay, forces in motion. His greatest challenge this next week. His plans. Let's do the plans and actions again. His actions. Ooh, that was hanging over him last week. We're talking some self-defeat, I suppose, or maybe he's planning on trying to defeat someone else. Oh, goodness. Okay, the karma hanging over him. Yeah, man. Okay. Dang. And 4 cards for his future. I feel like these are pretty much over here. And 4. And I'm going to take the 2 off the bottom. Oh boy, okay. All right. Let me get these in frame for you. And I'll try to go faster and I'll get the kipper in there. But one main thing I want to make sure you guys know, if you didn't see Lori at the Way of Positive Change, if you didn't see her live stream yesterday, go there and watch that video, because I was, well, watch all her live streams. I don't want to tell you what to do, but if I could, watch all her live streams. She's incredible. And she often reads with Danny Shea and Celtic Sheila, and they're so funny together. And Sheila's super psychic, and they're hilarious together. Danny's not bad himself. But anyway, we had a question about, or we started off because we had questions about what was going on with Trump, and I did get clearly with the kipper. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to make my, hold on, there is something going on with my, okay, I'll just try not to touch the table. I must have my camera or tripod leg up against the table. Okay, so bottom line is I got clearly with the Kipper that this non-fungible token trading scheme is just a way to do some money laundering. But lately I'm thinking, and I'm going to check in with the Kipper afterwards, after I get through this, I'm thinking that it's a way for people overseas, the Russian oligarchs and any of those people, to get money to him to keep him afloat and try to fight off his legal, battles. They're still trying to help him, I think. That's what I'm going to find out with the other deck. So, but anyway, there was a lot that came through. So on Lori's channel, so you could watch that video. But here, for this coming up week, so last week over here, the 4 cards definitely spelt out the non-fungible tokens and him trying to be a star, and he was like the bird in the gilded cage and with a computer and all that other stuff. But go back and watch that video if you want, because it was all right there. I didn't know what it meant. Now I do. That's what's good about having these things recorded, is you can go back and learn so much from, cards that you pulled. It's taught me a lot. So, okay. So again, I left the cards upright, but if this card were reversed, which I believe it would be, we're in the realm of the Emperor reversed, which is an abuse of power. And also that he doesn't have, when it's reversed, it brings in the issue of not being very cold, big, but it's a weak ego. When you've got a big overblown ego, it still means it's weak and you're insecure. But for all intents and purposes about, where he's sitting this week, what's controlling, his other people controlling him that are abusing their power over him, and he's abusing his power, and he's in that soup. There's just that's where he resides, and you can see it. It's all about money, and they don't care. Oops, let me grab my chopstick. They don't care who dies. They just care what they can have, right? And there's that. So this is also karmic for him, right? Because where you reside is your karma. And please don't take it the wrong way, because I think it's very complicated for each soul. It's never this for that. Like you did this and you get that in that equal measure. Sometimes it is, but it's usually not that way at all. With his abuse of authority, of course he has created all types of negative karma, and I have always felt that one of them would be to be humiliated. And with the 6 of Cups here, the nostalgia card, on its side, this would be reading it in the reverse. You know what I can do? Not to take too much time, but just to help you guys out. So you see the images here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do because everybody has these images in their universal consciousness, right? I mean, we're all in it in our mass consciousness. It's in the universal consciousness, and we see this card and we see this card and we think of a certain thing, right? So the Emperor reversed, okay? And then I need to go to the 6 of Cups and show you it reversed, so that if you're studying tarot, you would often, I would think, remember the kids on a card, all right? When this card comes through reversed, that brings in his greatest challenge that he's trying to get over in this lifetime now, and probably his last lifetime and prior to that, is his childhood wounding, his childhood trauma. Now, I'm not telling you these things to make you feel sorry for him or anything like that. Let's make sure there's enough room up here. For some reason, sometimes it cuts things off. I'm not trying to negate all the wounding or all the trauma that we've endured by having him in our political sphere, and everyone that lived in the state of New York and all over the world. I mean, we have to remember this could very well be his father and his trauma. And his father was all mobbed up from the get-go. His father was a part of the Genovese Italian mob family. And then after, and if you don't believe me, you can read many books. It's pretty well documented. You know, there's that, what's his name, Semyon Mogilevich, Russian dude that was, you know, like the brain, Putin's brain. And they know all about, well, just how to make money off of people's misery, right? And they don't care about people. People to them are just ways to maintain power and take money, okay? So there's, you know, a very cold heart. There's no warmth coming through. There's no real true authority. It's all based on, you know, what you can do. And that's where his father came from. That's the business that he inherited from his father, and his father taught him everything. And then there was Roy Cohn in there as well, but his father taught him first. Or maybe his father was there with, maybe Roy Cohn was there with his father. I've never researched to see how far back those two went. All I know is that there's a great book by Craig Unger called House of Trump, House of Putin, and it spells it all out. So, and if you don't have time to read, because a lot of times we don't, you can get it on Audible, or maybe you can listen to it somewhere else too, but you can listen while you're doing other things. You sometimes miss, you know, details, I find. You've had to listen several times. But anyway, these two cards are flavor. They always flavor for me the entire reading. That's why I'm spending so much time there. And I feel like, how about let's go ahead and go to the karma hanging over him based on these two, and then we'll do these. So treachery is the Ten of Swords. Okay, the karma. This is the karma hanging over him. So I'll let you look at that image for a while. Notice well, here, I'll hold it up. Notice the money on the mind. Nothing but money. Or as Danny Shea says, money, honey. It's only about the money. And look at all the graveyards down there. Does he care? I don't think so. And then here we are with the Hermit. And he doesn't know which way to go with this one. He's not going within, right? So this one would be here, okay, with the regular Rider-Waite. And this one, I feel by the artwork on that card, it would be the Hermit, but reversed, because he's not going within. Okay? So let's sit with that for a moment. So the karma hanging over him is pretty much put a fork in it, you're done. You're done. And you haven't wanted to go within for quite some time, dude, so you're going to have to. When the the ninth major arcana, the ninth gateway of evolution comes through, the Hermit, when it comes to reversed, this is repetitive mistakes that a person has not learned from. And because of that, it creates a lot of isolation and loneliness. And it's also a card of sadness and separations from other people, which is, I think, why I had that dream last night with Ivanka, with he and Ivanka. It was actually really sad. So I usually don't allow those dirtbags into my dreams, but I did last night. I went to sleep saying, what is going to happen to this guy? And it did come through. Well, not until the wee hours of the morning, but it came through. And it was really sad. So, okay, I don't know if all this will happen this next week, but this is pretty amazing. Now, when it comes to what he's planning, with the Sun card up here, so let me grab that card, he's planning on success. You know, he's planning on being seen. He's planning on having everything he wants. He's planning on happiness and joy and health and all that other stuff, and maybe he's feeling a little happy because it's the week before Christmas. But I don't know that those plans are going to come through for him, because it could actually be what his plans have been in the past, because the past creates the future, right? What his plans have created in the past for him is that the light is being shown on him. It's being revealed. I'm reading it a little bit like the sun in the Lenormand, because you can do that with some of the cards. Not very many, but a few. And it feels like the light's going to, we're going to see everything. And then here we have the cup, the Five of Cups. Now this reminds me of my dream with Ivanka, because in the dream, she was doing all the questions, all the questioning. She had him in a corner, backed into a corner, and he wasn't talking, but he was on the verge of tears, but not going there. Like, he needed to feel his pain, but he wasn't. And she just kept coming at him. You know, like, what are you doing? What's going on? What are your plans? What, why? You know, and then he looked like he was about to start crying, and she said, you know what, I'm going to love you anyway. You're my dad. And then I woke up. So I feel like this has to do with her. So let me, hold on. Get these cards mixed up. I have them in order so I can access them quickly. So let me go to, oh, wait a minute, I've screwed up already. Yeah, there we go. Major's there. Okay, I need the Five of Cups. Here it is. There you go. So that's him and his sadness and loss and disappointment, right? And so I don't think he's planning it, but it's an unconscious thing where, like, your higher self will get you into situations in your life to help you meet your pain, and I think that's what's happening with him. He's not. I don't feel like he's really in control anymore of his life. He just thinks he is. He's not. It's his childhood wounding that is controlling him. It's his past life wounding that is controlling him. But he's been the past life wounder for everyone. Remember, he's Mango Mussolini. And I also believe he was Caligula before that. So he has terrible karma. Now, these are his plans, but they're unconscious. Here's his actions with the Five of Swords. That scares me a little bit. But, you know, whatever he's going to do, I don't think is going to be that. I don't know. I doubt it. Why can't my brain's not working right when it comes to logistical stuff, and I'm in these zones? It's like, ask me to do math right now. Forget about it. Okay, there's the Five of Swords. It's our, you know, it's a card, when it comes to on a soul level, it's like your deepest inner conflict. And yeah, he might win, but, you know, all the friends are gone and people walk away, and it's okay, dude, you win. This guy's got weird hair too, right? I kind of wonder about that one too. I mean, the imagery is amazing. Three of Pentacles is really interesting when it comes to so he's basically it's like scorched and burned earth. He doesn't care about anyone else, and he'll use all types of dark money architects to get it done. Okay, I think that's simply stated there. And then when it comes to his future, we have the Queen of Cups. But, oops, what am I doing? See, my brain's just not working. Wands, they're in order. Wands, cups. There we go. No, that's the Knight. Here's our Queen of Cups. So maybe, you know, and here we have the little devil. Maybe with this card, this one's a better one. Like maybe he's planning on trying to seduce someone. But another take on it could be that I should be reading this Queen of Cups in the reverse. Because remember, I didn't allow for reversals with this other deck. I didn't, you know, turn the cards at all. And it could be in his future, he's highly manipulated by the women in his life. And this could also be, you know, because what he's receiving, this could also be that they're kind of cold-hearted around it. Well, she's not as cold-hearted as the Queen of Swords, but she's needy and she's unfaithful and she's immature and insecure, basically, is the best way I could put that one. Very insecure. You know, like people that they place demands on you, basically. So, okay. Then we have the Strength card here. In this deck, it's called Stamina. He's trying to hang in there. But again, I think this is one that would have come through as a reversal because of these other cards, you know. I mean, I don't know if he's going to meet his childhood one. Whether he meets it or not, it's coming at him over and over again. And a person, you know, until you're on your knees, it's like you don't heal it. He needs his come to Jesus moment for a long time, right? So with the Strength card reversed, it just puts him in a really weak position. It's also, you know, challenging on the, because I always see the Strength card as, when it's upright, as that gateway where we are meeting all of our unconscious levels so that they no longer control us. He's being controlled. I think that we could go with the typical, you know, keywords with the Strength card reversed being that he's afraid, he's doubting himself, of course weak, and then of course not having a lot of energy, right? And then we have the King of Wands, and you can see him there with that, just chasing, you know, chasing the money, right? That's what he's all about. Chasing the money. Straight up, the King of Wands is a person that's in their authority. A person who's powerful and they're in their natural born leadership and they're, you know, kind of charming and inspiring, and I don't think that's him. So again, I feel like this should be, you know, reversed. And that brings in being very ineffective and ruthless and abusive and the bully, right? Yeah. I mean, this can be the bully as well. And, you know, many of the cards reversed, there are several that could actually be the bully, but especially this one would be like the strong bully. Is it going to work? No, I don't think so. The King of Swords comes through next, and let me put this card here. So with the King of Swords, straight up, this is somebody who's, you know, who has integrity. I don't think that's him. Who has integrity, who is, you know, their thoughts are clear, they communicate effectively, and therefore, you know, they're in truth. On another level, maybe this is meant to be left straight up, and if that's the case, I'll show you that image. And this could be Jack Smith. This could be the card for all attorneys, no matter what sex, no matter what gender, or however they identify, but all legal, all people of the legal profession. if it's meant to be reversed as far as what he receives in the future, then that brings in being, again, somebody who's out of integrity and is majorly corrupt and manipulative. Isn't it interesting that we have 3 court cards here? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, that's all I have for that part, except for what was at the bottom here. I think I'll just try and pull these cards off and let you guys look at these two. The Nine of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. Ah, goodness. So the Nine of Wands, of course, is major stress and worry. And in this deck, look at that. I mean, it's like he's haunted at night. I don't think he's sleeping well, you guys. I mean, we're all living through this transit of Mars in Gemini in retrograde, and it just keeps spinning information up and up and up and up, and it's it's pretty close to his sun and his other planets in Gemini, so he's got to be feeling that, because the approaching energy is much stronger than once it finally hits and is waning. But he's going to go through that retrograde. Remember in the astrology I showed you last week, he's going to go through that retrograde for he'll be experiencing it way throughout next spring. So I don't think he's sleeping well based on this card. And then with the Six of Pentacles, he's got his hand out. But when this card comes through, and so let me go ahead real quick with this deck. Here, let's just do this so it's not as distracting. The Six of Pentacles. Okay, so, and again, this is just so you guys can get this in your head, what these things mean. Giving, receiving. But again, if this were reversed, this puts him in that realm where he's in debt and he doesn't know what to do. He's got a lot of people pulling on him. He's been abusing his power for so darn long. And this is also my card when it comes to reversed, my card for scams, right? And he's the biggest grifter scam artist we've ever seen, probably. So he's anxious about whether or not his grifting will keep working. Now, it doesn't take a reader or a psychic or anyone for us to think about the fact that his base, the Republican base, they don't have the money to buy $99 non-fungible tokens or not, NFTs. Right? I mean, where would they get the money to buy those and keep buying them, right? And download more and more. And I did the research, so they do expire, or they do run out. You only can sell so many. It's like trying to sell a piece of art. But his people don't have that money. So logically, just using reasoning abilities, that tells me that he's really anxious. He's feeling really beat up and probably not doing well energetically on any level. In fact, that Sun card over here could have been reversed, although it's his plan, so I don't think he plans to have low energy. But anyway, what I'm feeling here is that he's worried about whether it's going to work, and if the overseas, I'm thinking, I'll find out when we do the Kipper. Let me start shuffling those cards. I'm thinking that he's hoping that enough people from overseas will believe in him, right? Believe in him in order to, and therefore believe in him enough to do what he's supposed to do, even though he's losing his mind, right? But if they would just fund him, just keep sending the money. And meanwhile, he's, just like every born psychopath, has the wounding of being used and betrayed, and that's what they do to others. And there you have it. Oops, I don't want those cards falling. Okay. All right. Trump's next week. December 18th through 24th. It's week before Christmas. Actually, I'm thinking I can fit. I'm gonna switch this up just a little bit. Let's add future over here, okay? But I want to see the past here, and maybe we can get a really good understanding of what's going on with these NFTs. So I think I can fit 21 cards. So don't worry, you can fast forward and until Hilda has time to put the timestamps in, if she has time. We don't ever want to push that on her. We just, so grateful when it can happen. She's a very busy gal. Okay. His past and future. What has he done? What has he been doing to make money? What is the truth about that? 1, 2, 3, and 4's right here. Oh, why they all seem to be over here? Wow. Okay. I think that was 20. Let's see. Well, I'll take the 2 off the bottom. And if it wasn't 20, I'll just draw one more. But let's start doing this. Okay, so here he is up at the top. So this is what he's done in the past. Actually, let's see. I hope this doesn't cut off. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, you guys. 7. Oh boy. And there's Melania again. And they're back to back. This is in between them. Okay. I'll just keep going, let you guys look at those cards. Whoa. Let me scooch them up as far as I can. And this is Ivanka. Yeah, I thought I did. Okay, I feel like this one over here too. We'll figure this out. Okay, so, oh, and the 2 off the bottom. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, so in the past, he's been involved with overseas, all types of overseas action, foreign relations. Of course, we know that, right? I mean, he has a golf course in Scotland and Ireland, and Ireland's coming after them. Thank you guys so much for the comments, and I love it when they're true, and I can look them up and verify, and it's like, yeah. But a lot of them, I knew that golf course in Ireland. I think it's in Aberdeen. They're coming after him for ruining the environment. So that could be part of this. But what he's done in the past is he's had support from overseas. He's had a lot of ambition and support from overseas supply. He's been in a tight, intimate relationship with a lot of people who are going through a down patch, And this is his lousy health, but it's also it's also a down patch. I don't know what else it could be besides health and just things not going well. Oh, God, yes, here it is. He's using drugs to get to sleep. Okay, that makes sense. And then, so knighting, so 2 down and 1 over. I'm tying these 2 cards together to show that in his intimate circle of friends, they're all overseas. Foreign relations, foreign cultures is what the meaning is with this card. But it's also my card for drinking and alcohol, drugs, excess, all that stuff. And that's what he's doing. So in the past, he's just been hanging out at Mar-a-Lago and, doing his thing. And probably people have come from, maybe they've come up even through that tunnel on the beach there in Mar-a-Lago. And there's that possibility. This is my Ivanka card, but it also is a stand-in for wealthy, younger women who are very creative and beautiful. And the fact that he's over that type of a person kind of makes me want to hurl. Legally, this is my card for subpoenas, but it can just be really sad news. It could be that Ivanka is giving him trouble that is making him sad, because I had that dream and it looked like it with the cards too. It might be that she is making a new start that creates a lot of change, and he might be distracted with that. I get this card for him, I think, pretty much every week. This, I don't know if it's any one person, but the true meaning of the energy and consciousness of this card is the realm of confidential support. So it could be like Jenny Thomas, the Publix heiress, all these other women who can secretly give him money in order to support him in any way they want. But that is changing to a place where his future, and because of something to do with Melania, he's feeling very, just lacking, very lacking. It's called poverty, this card, if you can't see the writing, but this is our card of feeling like somebody that just can't get through the day. They are having a really hard time making ends meet, and they're just, he's not in that experience. Even if he ends up in, we'd love to see Rikers or Leavenworth, he'll never go a day hungry. But this is his consciousness, and maybe he experienced this lifetimes and lifetimes ago, and that's why he's so driven to be wealthy. But I think it's more of an ego thing for him. But anyway, these cards are his future. There's strategy for stability, but this is my card for clans. So I'm kind of focusing in on the 4 corners right now, right? So here's his inner circle of people who are ill, and there's some control there, and I think the money was coming through to help him with those NFTs from overseas. And I don't know what kind of rules and regulations we have against that, but in the future, something's coming down on him. This could absolutely be one of my Jack Smith cards. And he knows everything international. And he's up here in the powerful position over this clan of people who come together for the purpose of just making money. But in Trump's future, so he has control over that. But in Trump's future, there's more of this. Remember, I always get these 2 cards every week, I think, pretty much, yeah. I know I had this card last week, and I think maybe this was at the bottom, I forget, but anyway. Or no, we had the imprisonment card come through, didn't we? Which could just be restrictions. But anyway, this is our crisis card. This is our depression card. So in his future, or through Christmas at least, this next week, he's still depressed. He's still feeling helpless and insecure. You know, this can be like that strength card reversed. And you know, it's my card for OCDs, and you can't think of anything else because you're not getting what you want. You're thinking this is like the Nine of Swords but reversed. You're thinking it's just over. What do I do? You know, remember he had that in that other deck, the Nine of Wands, where it was like that coming up behind him. You know, that shadow, demonic shadow figure. This is his future here, right? He's in a down patch. He's in control up here, but and all of these cards are coming up behind his back. It'd be better if his card was over here and then he was seeing what was coming his direction. But no, his back is turned to these cards and he doesn't see this coming through. So, well, let's just go ahead and stick up here with this. Okay, so foreign lands, foreign regulations, international law, investigation into Melania too, probably, because I've always felt she's his handler. And because, I mean, Ivana was, so why wouldn't his, yeah. And maybe Marla Maples wouldn't do it, and that's why he didn't stick with her, or maybe somebody else made him get rid of, you know, I don't know what happened there. I can't remember, and that's a big old distraction right now. So, anywho, legal issues and problems, his ambitions are giving him problems. Major problems here with change in his life, support, ambition, Melania, and he's feeling all alone, and how can I make it? And he's having problems with his reputation and all of his Trump organization, you know, Trump Org International, because, of course, he, you know, Letitia James has control of those two, and she installed that master, whatever, controller dude, and overlooking every single transaction, and he has to pay for all of that. So this is why it's all crumbling down around him, and his ability to steal anymore is met with, oh my God, what do I do? You know, sad news is usually this card. It's subpoenas. It knights up to an attorney card sneaking up behind his back. It knights up to international law over here, I'm feeling. And this, on another level, could be oh crap, they're not buying my NFTs, and I'm not getting that money funneled in the way I wanted. So, yeah, there's that. So further on, let's focus on just reading what's sneaking up behind his back. Jack Smith, investigations, Melania doing whatever she wants, someone who's very ambitious very ambitious to get to the truth of things in a wise way, and it involves even getting information. You know, this is like when I put these two cards together, just think in terms, and this one here, think in terms of the Panama Papers. Think in terms of the ICIJ, the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, who put together the Panama Papers, figured out how all the money was moving around, you know, over all the countries, through all the countries. But now they're starting to find, because of the Paradise Papers and the Pandora Papers, they're figuring out who the players are. They had to figure out first where the money was moving through. And things came out on the news about that bank in, was it Danske Bank? Danske, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. That was in Estonia that was moving. It was the catch-all for taking the money and then transferring it out. So, wire fraud, wire transfers is what I'm thinking in the future with this guy. Which, you remember remember that Tom Cruise movie called The Firm, where they couldn't get the they couldn't make the charges be something what it should have been, but they at least got him for, pretty sure it was like wire fraud or post, I can't remember, but I just remember the line like, yeah, it's not sexy, but it sticks, right? And we can think of other figures in history where, like Al Capone, they got him for tax evasion, but they couldn't get him for other things, right? We have to be happy with what we can get sometimes. But I see nothing but legal problems in his future, and they also affect all the property, right? The rules and regulations to all his properties. And I'm thinking that it's across, it's international, across all the countries. And Jack Smith and his investigators are working really hard on it. We may never know if this could be the case, but I would just die if this turns out, because of this connection here, turns out to be Melania giving him what he wanted, because these two guys are facing each other. She's facing him. This isn't a dirty international dude. This is a guy that brings down the law. This is somebody with the rules and regulations backing them up, who will take responsibility for the order that needs to be, in place. So there's that. Okay, at the bottom, we had these two cards. We had the Coffin, which is a painful ending and loss. But then we also have toil and labor. And often, so when it comes to, here, I'll do this real quick. When it comes to the, no, it's usually this one. Sometimes this one. I'll show you real quick my cards that I often get when I'm reading on these people, especially Trump. Oh, sometimes this one's there. That have revealed the money laundering. Oh, not that one. No, definitely that one. Sometimes this one. Okay. Sometimes this one, yeah, this. Actually, it's more like this. It's this card. Courtship, yeah, okay. Yeah, so any of these cards, just a quick little lesson and then we're done here. And you've probably noticed them in my readings. And it could be in any order, but they seem to stick, like hang out together and be in that grouping. Where there's that intimate circle. This one would have to do with the travel, the journey of, this would be the wire transfer card, but the travel and journey of people, they're usually like this, and it's always like, the painful situation going on, where they're having to travel across the land or across the ocean, water, whatever, foreign, and work. These cards could be in any order, but they all tend to stick together. So these are pretty much my money laundering card, transnational crime syndicate money laundering situation. So okay. That's it. Hope you guys are doing well. Sending you best wishes for the wonderful week ahead. Okay, bye.